Let's begin with the definition. So inductive reasoning is using past experiences to draw a conclusion. So you are using what has happened in the past to draw a conclusion about what is going to happen in the future. All right, now, important to note, the conclusion that you draw may be correct or incorrect. It doesn't really matter. It's still inductive reasoning because you drew the conclusion. Okay? All right, so we're just going to look at some examples here. All right, so Jules and Elliot decided to try out a new restaurant that had just opened on their block. The food they ordered tasted bad and the service was slow. After a few months, they tried the restaurant again, and again, the food tasted bad and the service was slow. Okay, so what we want to realize here is that this is the past experience. All right, so that is what happened to Jules and Elliot in the past. So once they've done that, the third bullet says then they decided to avoid eating at that particular restaurant to avoid additional negative experience. So this is what happened to them in the past, and because of that, they drew this conclusion. So the food was bad in the past. Their conclusion was that it's always going to be bad and they don't want to eat there anymore. That is inductive reasoning. Okay? Let's look at another example. You visit a daycare center and you notice that all the kids at the daycare had fun playing on the swings. All right, so again, this is your past experience. This is your conclusion. Therefore, all kids must have fun playing on swings. Now, remember that we made a point of saying that your conclusion doesn't have to be correct or incorrect. So this is probably not necessarily true because you're saying that you went to the daycare center and all those kids at the daycare center were having fun on the swings. But that doesn't necessarily mean that all kids everywhere have fun playing on the swings. But it doesn't matter. If you use this past experience to draw this conclusion, you have done inductive reasoning. Okay? Let's look at another one. You pull a coin from a bag. The coin you pull is a penny. Then you pull a second coin from the bag. This coin is also a penny. You pull a third coin from the bag. This coin is also a penny. All right, so here is our experience. This is our past experience right here. This is going to be our conclusion. Therefore, all the coins in the bags are pennies. That's a reasonable conclusion because you have drawn 3 pennies in a row. It may be correct, it may not be correct, but it's still inductive reasoning because you drew the conclusion based on your past experience. Okay, look at this one. You observe 100 cats and notice that they all hiss at dogs. All right, so here we have our past experience. We observe the cats. We notice that they all hiss at dogs. Therefore, so this is the conclusion that I drew based on my past experience. You conclude that every cat will hiss at dogs. Again, it's possible that's true. It's possible that it's false. It doesn't matter because it is the conclusion that you drew based on your experience. So it is inductive reasoning. All right, one more example. You look outside and see a sunny sky. You decide that you will not need an umbrella. All right, so again, here's your past experience. You look outside, you see a sunny sky. This is the conclusion that you draw. It's inductive reasoning because your conclusion is based on the fact that you looked outside and you saw that it was a sunny sky.